One of the unique things in Manitoba around our agri-food industry is the great bounty of raw materials we've got to work with, and now the amazing infrastructure we've got to actually extract the value in that raw material. The MAHRN cluster is really built along a seamless integration that takes us from initial discovery in our raw materials, like our crops and livestock products, through understanding what the potential health benefits are, all the way to a final food product that a consumer can buy or that another food manufacturer can use to enhance the healthiness of their products.
Functional foods are common foods that contain what we call active or bioactive ingredients, such as omega-3 fats, such as plant sterols, such as antioxidants, such as fibers. So we take commodities such as canola or wheat or flax, and we process them through the kinds of mills that you see behind me here. We can look at the content, the concentration, and we can optimize that. For instance, right now we're looking at bran, and we're trying to find which fraction of bran after we mill it has the highest fiber called beta-glucan. And we know that beta-glucan is good for you in terms of lowering your cholesterol, lowering your blood sugar level as well.
We are at the forefront of discovery, and we are at the end of that pipeline where we actually test out the new materials to see and prove that they are actually working in people. Seekarm is unique because it's the only research unit in this area that is located on the hospital grounds. This means that we have access to not only patients who have illnesses, but we also have access to all of the equipment that would normally be available to the physicians here. There are a number of different items that we are researching with right now that we think have potential. One of these is buckwheat, and buckwheat is one of these crops that has been linked to improvements in diabetes. What we have been doing is going and trying to identify what the actual bioactive in buckwheat is, with the idea that we can at least concentrate it or identify varieties that have greater amounts of the bioactive.
The Richardson Center supports industry by providing a sandbox in which industry can come and conduct research specifically tailored to its own needs. The real benefit of that is that industry does not have to create its own research laboratory, but it can use the facilities at the Richardson Center to carry out the research and development needed for pre-launch investigation that will help propel those foods with added bioactives when they enter the marketplace.
Our relationship with Seekarm and the Richardson Center is really unique in the world. We produce the test and the control products that they use with their clinical trials. So we'll have muffins that contain flax and muffins that don't, so that the patients don't know the difference, but we can measure the results. We are the third part of the MAHRN cluster that we actually put into products, the bioactives that they identify. So Richardson Center will identify something in a grain or an oil seed and test it with healthy people, and Seekarm tests it with sick people, and once they identify the compounds that have special health properties, then we can put those into food products. FDC helps startup companies by working with others in Manitoba government to provide business plan and marketing plan advice, and to help them access funding programs. Because we incubate clients here, they can produce product by renting space for a day or an hour or a month, so that they don't have to invest in their own facility until they are able to grow their business to the point where they can afford those costs.
We're very interested in this whole continuum of going all the way from the farm to the food and even all the way through to the pharma, to see whether we can identify new subcomponents of plants that we could enrich out and then translate right across to use either in prevention or even the treatment of disease.
MAHRN's determined we can save almost $20 billion a year in annual healthcare costs through the increased consumption of functional foods and nutraceuticals. In Manitoba, we've coined this the Canadian Climate Advantage Diet, which takes advantage of Manitoba grown and processed products that have demonstrated health benefits.
When you combine the Food Development Center together with the Canadian Centre for Agri-Food Research in Medicine, together with the Richardson Center for Functional Foods and Nutraceuticals, you have a very high degree of capacity in this area. In fact, you really have an unmatched expertise when you look across the country.
Nowhere else in the world have we built this sort of base of raw materials, ability to extract and take to the commercial market.